The real legends of reggae never stood at the microphone. I am revealing the 10 ghost guitarists whose secret riffs built the entire genre. The music industry worked for decades to keep their identities hidden. You must stick around until the end, because the final guitarist's technique was so revolutionary, it created a sound they tried to ban. In the heat of Kingston, where sun-baked zinc roofs glimmered and bass lines shook the corrugated walls, yet their fingers moving like lightning across strings crafted the heartbeat of Jamaica and the conscience of reggae itself. The story often begins with Lynn Tate, a man whose guitar seemed to slow time itself. In an era when ska raced like a heartbeat, too fast for comfort, Tate reached for calm. He pressed his fingers against the strings and muted the storm, birthing the chunk that clipped, offbeat rhythm that cooled Jamaica's tempo and birthed rocksteady. In that single act, he reshaped the island's soundscape. His playing was like conversation, one part precision, one part poetry. Every strike of his pick carried the echo of migration, the hum of Caribbean heat, the pulse of people finding rhythm in restraint. Without Tate's subtle revolution, reggae might have never learned to breathe. From that breath came Ranchy McLean, a man of two souls, bass and guitar. With the revolutionaries, he stood at the very core of dub's thunder, crafting lines so heavy they rattled the walls of Channel 1. But when he picked up the guitar, he became a sculptor of texture. Ranchy's rhythm was neither loud nor showy. It was the spine that held a song upright. You could feel it beneath the singers, beneath the echo and reverb, a heartbeat beneath a heartbeat. While others chased glory, Ranchy chased balance. He was the calm hand guiding chaos into groove. In those same studios, Mikey Boo Richards worked like a ghost. The world knew him as a drummer, a man who could split time like a blade. But sometimes, when the session needed something extra, Boo would quietly reach for a guitar. His playing wasn't credited, but it didn't need to be. His rhythm came from the same internal metronome that made him a master of drums. Each strum landed exactly where spirit demanded, locking into bass lines with uncanny precision. Boo played the guitar as if it were still a drum, each chord a strike, each note a pulse. In his hands, rhythm became an unbroken circle. And then there was Earl Chinna Smith, the mystic of the Telecaster, whose instrument seemed to chant psalms. Chinna's sound was not just heard, it was felt deep in the bones. His guitar could cry like a wounded soul, or rejoice like sunrise after exile. He played with Bob Marley, Dennis Brown, Burning Spear, names etched into eternity, but always as the invisible force beneath their brilliance. His tone was pure consciousness, rooted, righteous, and spiritual. In the sessions of Soul Syndicate, he made electricity sound organic, as if the guitar itself had grown from the Jamaican soil. Winston Bop Bowen was a master of patience, the rare musician who understood that silence was as sacred as sound. His playing was conversation without words, measured, deliberate, never crowding the rhythm. In an age when many sought complexity, Bop offered clarity. He laid down guitar lines that sounded effortless, though every phrase carried the wisdom of restraint. On countless Roots recordings, his quiet touch gave songs their human warmth. He was the heartbeat behind the bass, the whisper behind the roar. Stephen Cat Core, meanwhile, looked beyond borders. His guitar sang with ambition, half Kingston, half Cosmos. In Third World, he fused reggae with the eloquence of jazz and the fire of rock, proving that the music of Jamaica could stand shoulder to shoulder with any global sound. Cat's solos rose like prayers. His melodies, lush with Santana like phrasing, elevated reggae into new dimensions. When he performed 96 Degrees in the Shade, you could hear both the sweat of the tropics and the cry of defiance woven into each note. He turned the guitar into an ambassador, taking the island's soul to the world's stage. Not far from him in vision, but grounded in roots, was Dwight Brother D. Pinkney, steady, soulful, and endlessly inventive. From Zap Pow to Roots Radix, his tone was fluid like water. Sometimes fierce, sometimes tender, always purposeful. Brother D didn't just play notes. He told stories. Each chord seemed to carry an emotion, yearning, hope, resilience. In studio after studio, he adapted, blending hints of rock, jazz, and blues without ever losing the core of reggae's truth. His guitar lines could uplift or console, dancing easily between celebration and lament. Next on our list is Al Anderson. Al Anderson, the bluesman among the brethren, brought raw electricity to reggae's roots. His strings spoke in confessions. When he joined Bob Marley and the Wailers, his style changed the emotional temperature of the music. That solo in No Woman, No Cry, that aching, wordless wail, wasn't just melody. It was memory, history, pain, and pride. Anderson fused the language of Delta blues with the rhythm of Trenchtown streets. His guitar didn't accompany Marley's message, it amplified it, turning sorrow into strength and exile into exaltation. Next on our list is Eric Frater. Long before reggae became a worldwide movement, Eric Frater was already crafting the grammar of the genre. A perfectionist to the core, he played with surgical precision, moving between ska, rocksteady, and the first waves of reggae with effortless grace. His guitar was the thread that stitched those transitions together. Where other players chased volume, Frater chased purity, each note clean, deliberate, and balanced like architecture. On recordings from Studio One and Treasure Isle, his touch provided the invisible geometry that made chaos sound like order. Next on our list is Hux Brown. Hux Brown, the man whose subtle idea became reggae's eternal pulse. He didn't invent a song or a solo, he invented the feel. The bubble rhythm, that soft, percussive, offbeat strum that makes reggae sway rather than march, was his creation. Listen to Rivers of Babylon, Bangarang, or any classic rhythm that makes your shoulders move without thinking that's Hux speaking. His guitar wasn't the loudest, but it was the most essential, the quiet heartbeat that united everything else. Through his fingers, reggae found its voice, a rhythm that still ripples through generations and across oceans. Together, these men formed an unspoken brotherhood. They worked in small rooms with peeling paint and sweating walls, crafting immortality from imperfection. Sometimes paid a pittance, sometimes uncredited, yet they carried the dignity of priests at a sonic altar. They didn't chase fame. They chased the perfect groove. Their instruments were more than tools, they were vessels of history, transmitting the spirit of Africa through amplifiers, turning hardship into harmony. They are the unseen guardians of rhythm, the silent prophets of sound. And through their strings, the island still speaks. Now you know the hidden architects behind reggae's greatest songs. Tell me which of these axemen had the most unforgettable sound. Let me know which secret riff you believe is the most iconic. Share your own theory on the most underrated guitarist in music history. Make sure to follow for more revelations about the unsung heroes who shaped your favorite music.